The Splatoon 2 Direct just wrapped up, and whether you're a squid or a kid, there is tons of new things to get excited about, and that's why today we're counting down the 10 new awesome things revealed in the Splatoon 2 Direct. What's up, everybody? It's Zach from Switchforce. I've got Gabe here. 26 minutes of Splatoon 2 goodness just graced our faces, and we have compiled a list of the 10 most awesome announcements that we are going to share with you. The first one being Splatfest now with friends. They unveiled Splatfest again for Splatoon 2, promised 2 years of Splatfest, announced the first Splatfest for everybody on July 15th, and you can play with your friends.
And there is already division here in Switchforce. Zach is wrong over there liking cake. I'm over here with the correct answer of ice cream. So
I feel like cake is the dessert that everyone loves. It's good for just a random day. It's good for holidays. It's good for parties.
I hate cake. I'm never ever eating cake.
I will celebrate you, Gabe, with a Gabe cake, and we will win the Splatfest. No, but I do like the fact that you can play this now together. We can group up if we can manage to agree and get in on the goodies. And Splatoon 1 basically had a year of Splatfest, so at least 2 years of Splatfest is looking pretty good. I like that a lot.
Same here.
Number 2 is new weapons, and they went through a bunch of main, sub, and special weapons. I'm going to highlight a couple for you that I really like. The Baller is a special weapon that's basically an exploding hamster ball, and it can roll around, roll up walls, and then it detonates and explodes in an inky, gooey mess. Gabe, I feel like this is one you're going to love.
Are you controlling it? Is it sort of like the Call of Duty, like the little RC car? Is that what it's like, or?
Yeah, I mean, you're in it, so it's just normal movement. Yeah, just normal movement.
Okay, I was picturing something else. I must have looked down and taken a note or something during that portion.
Yeah, there also is Ink Armor, which is one of the coolest specials, which when activated gives everyone on your team better armor for a limited amount of time, so you can take more hits, which I think is a nice tactical perk that is spread across your team instead of just allowing you to like shoot missiles or fling bombs. Now your whole team is boosted. If we go to the main weapon category, they introduced some other takes on the normal weapon category. So you've got the Flingza Roller, which is a roller that allows you to fling even farther vertically. It takes a while to get that fling going, but it transforms, the weapon transforms, and they made a great pun of like, transforming seems to be something that the Inklings love, obviously, as they go from a squid to kid. There also is, ooh, Gabe, this one's going to really make you happy, the GooTuber.
Yes, the GooTuber.
And now you can save a charge for the charge weapons, and the GooTuber allows you to save that charge for a very long time. So you can swim around, pop back up, get a new angle, and then just grease somebody with a lovely spray of ink. There are the Dapple Doolies, which allow for even faster rolls. That guy was rolling pretty much as fast as you juke, Gabe.
That's pretty darn fast. You gotta be careful with my jukes.
He was just all over the place. Still two dodges, still 2 dashes, but they were insanely fast, and I like the fact that we have all new special weapons, some new tweaks on main weapons, and then some sub weapons that look awesome as well. I'm all about that baller.
Good variety in all of these things too. Like, you know, one of them you implement a help towards the whole team, and then the other one you're in the ball. So yeah, decent variety.
Absolutely, and there's more weapon stuff coming later in this video. But first, we got to talk about some new abilities. Gear abilities are something that help modify your loadout in comparison to your teammates or your competitors. And there were some really cool new ones here. One is Thermal Ink, which allows you to mark targets and then see them anywhere on the map. So if you shoot them with your main weapon, then you're able to see those guys via like a thermal ink vision. Pretty darn cool. Object Shredder allows you to take down non-Inkling enemies quicker. So like when people put up different gear and objects, sub weapons, you can shoot those and knock them out quicker. Then there is Drop Roller, which I think is a subtle ability, but one that's going to be very useful. So when you respawn and leap into the map, it will give you a roll so that you're not just like a sitting duck for that brief second. Someone might think you land right there, but then you'll roll and get a new angle and hopefully avoid that sort of like spawn camp death.
But is that something that happens a lot, the spawn camp death? Because, I mean, you're picking where you're spawning, so like it's hard for them to camp, right?
It's hard to camp, but if you notice someone dropping in, it's pretty easy to just, you know, get a split-second advantage on them, especially if you have a quick-firing weapon.
Yes,
so
yeah, so this
I like
really help. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have some that are similar to the first game as well, like quicker respawn, but then they have one that punishes respawn and increases respawn timer, which is pretty cool. Number 4, though, is upcoming content, and so there's going to be even more gear, even more weapons, and even more stages. They showed off a cool, like, pirate ship boat stage that looked really awesome. They showed off a stage underneath a bridge. They showed off the Splatbrella, which I know has a special place in your heart.
I love that thing. I just want to walk around with it, like, open the whole time, so I'm just a pacifist.
I love your strategy of just never firing, just keeping it open. Because they did say once it's used, like open, it won't be able to open up for a while. But in theory, you could just leave it open the whole game, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it auto closes. I don't know.
And right after that, we do have the bubbles, right? The bubble blower, it's called.
Yes, I love that as well. It allows you to like sort of like fling bubbles, and then if you shoot them, it like rains ink, which is, I just love how some of these are very different tactically. I think that's one thing that Splatoon benefits far more from than a lot of other shooters, is that the different weapon sets allow for and encourage like very weird styles of play, right? Like, okay, a shotgun and a machine gun and a submachine gun, like they're all guns, but here like bubble blower, very, very interesting weapon. And the Splatbrella, very interesting weapon. The ink rollers, you know, the dualies, I love just how it mixes up your play style. And that moves us to number 5, which is another way you can enhance your play style, which is Splatnet 2. So Splatnet 2 is going to be the game-specific service within the Nintendo Switch Online app for Splatoon 2. It's done up really nicely. They have amazing stat tracking. You're able to see what levels and modes are currently in rotation. You can even see how much ink you've spread and like what real-world landmarks it would cover. They gave the example of the Pyramid of Giza. And this is the way that you'll be communicating with friends to set up online matches and to voice chat. Now, who knows how much we'll actually use the app for the voice chat, but I think those stat tracking services and the ability to order gear to Inkopolis looks awesome.
I was pleasantly surprised by the way the app looks, and like I'm definitely going to use that feature where you can just get some gear and it'll be ready for you in game. That's a great feature.
Yeah, fantastic companion app, one of the best I've seen. It's all done up in really cool Splatoon art. It looks like it should. Nintendo did it right with this. Number 6. Now, some people might think this was not done right, but there is a new duo on the scene. Off the Hook is the new musical magic that is invading Inkopolis. It's Marina and Pearl, the new Callie and Marie. And we're already debating this as well, Gabe, if you're a Marina fan or a Pearl fan.
Definitely a Marina fan. Pearl is she's a little...
I like Pearl a lot. I like how Marina has more of the octopi-looking tentacle thing on her head. I like that. Makes me a little nervous about her. But they definitely have attitude. They're more of like a hip-hop group to fit in with sort of the new fashion sense that has hit the land. And I just like that they're adding more crazy characters. The lore in Splatoon is really great. They've got a lot of creativity. And that music video was something else.
It was something, yes.
So people are predicting that the final Splatfest is going to be Marina and Pearl versus Callie and Marie.
Ooh, okay.
If we can figure out what's going on with Callie, because Marie they said she seems very scared, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But we're also keeping an eye on the new Salmon Run bosses. They showed off a couple new ones that look awesome. The Steel Eel is basically a water park on wheels. It is dropping, sprays and columns or pillars of ink and just running around the map like a freaking flying dragon, and looked like a very dastardly foe. You've also got the Flyfish, which is a psychopathic salmonid who is just flinging missiles that home in on the Inklings around from his flying copter, and there are more to be revealed, as we saw from sort of that book of creatures, which looked pretty awesome.
I'm glad that there's like way more like Salmon Run bosses than like they showed during the Treehouse stuff.
Oh yeah,
because I was like nervous, like okay, like Salmon Run like looks cool, but you know they talked about ramping up the difficulty by 10 and some people being like super hardcore into it, and I didn't see it with just like the small amount of like enemies and stuff. But now that like they're seeing more of them, I think there's way more incentive to play this. Plus, you know, there's still exclusive gear on it and everything, so Salmon Run's gonna be fun, I think.
Little bit of a bummer that online Salmon Run is limited to hour slots. We don't know how long that's gonna, how long per day it'll run for. If it's just gonna be 1 2-hour slot, or if it's gonna be 3 or 4 or what. But you can play locally via wireless or via LAN, which is great. But I feel like that could be a little bit of
it's a tiny
a downer.
for sure. Yeah, I'm bummed out by that too.
I think they need a bunch of windows. If they give us a bunch of windows, okay. And I know they like to group players and keep that very, those grounds very full. But I feel like Salmon Run is something that people are so excited for. You should just open it up to anyone at any time. Anyhow, moving on. Number 8 is the League Battle Mode, which is another new aspect of Splatoon 2, where you can group up with either 1 or 3 other friends and compete in a 2-hour window to see who can get the most points. So basically, you'll want to start at, like, if it's a 9 to 11 slot, you'll want to start at 9, or if it's a 2 to 4, you'll want to start at 2, and see who can get the most points during that 2 hours. It's a way for you to very competitively test your merits with your buddies, and you can earn medals based on your performance. It sort of showed a pyramid that ranks you amongst the other people playing League Battle during that time frame.
Nintendo really likes dictating when you're doing what.
At least with Splatoon they do.
Yeah, like they want to make sure that, oh, at this time you're playing League Battle. Oh, at this time you're doing Salmon Run. Like, yeah, they're really trying to make sure that like the player base is funneled in a certain direction. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and that's similar with the ranked modes. They will be rotating every couple hours as well. And, it works super great for Splatfest, and it works great for the test fires. So it should, in theory, like it did in Splatoon 1, continue to work well here. Salmon Run should be open for all. But anyhow, food is open for all, Gabe.
Yum, yum, yum,
There's
yum.
now delicious food provided by the residents of Inkopolis. You've got things that basically serve as boosts. They help boost how much cash you earn in the rounds, how much XP. There are smaller food items that boost it by 50%, and then bigger food items that double it. But just another way to really flesh out the world. And it is nice how everything kind of relates to each other, and everything, your progress, like you said, Salmon Run, you can get gear that then you can use in multiplayer, and all of your cash carries over. It's just great how everything is unified and allows you to be in this persistent world and playing and ranking up and going through all the different shops and all the different areas of Splatoon 2.
Yeah, basically my inkling is going to be very fat because it's constantly going to be eating food.
You want the cash upgrade or you want the XP upgrade?
I'm gonna have a mixture. Sometimes I'll have an XP upgrade if I'm trying to level up, but the cash I think is way more important because then you get to buy all these other things that make your Inkling look way cooler. So
absolutely, and you will be using that Inkling to achieve separate rankings, because this time around they have separate rankings for the modes. So if it's Rainmaker, Splat Zones, Tower Control, you will have a different ranking. So you could be a C- in Tower Control, an A+ in Splat Zones, and a solid B in Rainmaker, which I think is nice to give a little bit more specificity, and then they will be matching you up in those modes based on your ranking, like your specific individual ranking.
Well, whatever the highest ranking is, that's just what I'm going to be in everything, so I don't even got to worry about this.
A+ for everything. They did say that you can level up multiple rankings if you have a killer performance. So,
well, yeah, when you're as highly coveted of a Splatoon player as me, this isn't even something you got to worry about because you're going to be at the top of the list on everything. Not really. I'm not that great at Splatoon.
I feel okay with your load of Splatbrella and Baller, you're going to be just dominating the competition. You're going to pacifistically run around with the umbrella, and then when you finally get your special, which I guess just will happen very slowly, you will then roll out of the way even further.
Yes, just got to make sure that nobody gets hurt, nobody gets any ink on them. We'll be all right.
No, don't ruin that great gear that you got and spent all of your hard-earned battle cash on. Anyways, guys and girls, that is the 10 coolest new things that were revealed in the Splatoon 2 Direct. A very information-packed Direct. We got a good look at what's going on, and there is a Splatfest coming July 15th. So make sure to download that demo so you can get in on the action. It's a 4-hour slot, cake or ice cream. Pick your poison and go to work for either Pearl or Marina. In the meantime, we are going to patiently wait for Splatoon 2. If you enjoyed the video, let us know, and let us know your favorite new thing that was unveiled in the Splatoon 2 Direct. Was it the Splatfest with friends? Was it some of the new weapons? Maybe it was Splatnet 2, or probably it was just Marina and Pearl, but we're curious to hear your take. Until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. A fantastic day from myself and Gabe. Switch Force out.